how does one understand colonialism? Are the links between a wealthy black man and a wealthy white man stronger than those between a poor black man and a rich black man? What are the interests that coincide and that separate? And that's the thing that interests me, I suppose, is that even though it's a historic debate, is a contemporary debate.
On the day I was born, God was sick and could only pick at his food.
The Great Yes, the Great No. It's a theatre project that's based on an event of a ship that sailed from Marseille to Martinique in March 1941, full of refugees escaping the Vichy regime in France. It included people like André Breton, the surrealist, Claude Lévi-Strauss, the anthropologist, Wilfredo Lam, the Cuban artist, Agnès Segers, the novelist, Victor Serge, the communist writer, all of them escaping. It's both about an Atlantic crossing, and of course the question of migrants and refugees crossing the sea is very pertinent. But I was also interested in Martinique, which has produced remarkable writers, poets, thinkers, and Aimé Césaire, and also Frantz Fanon, who was from Martinique. And so I thought, well, let's put them on the boat. And then coming on board also, we invited Suzanne Césaire, Aimé's wife, who kind of got written out of history, but who was one of the founders of the Negritude movement. In fact, she becomes a very central figure in this journeying across the Atlantic. So all these people have come on board, and it's a way of looking at a shift from a kind of constructivist, rationalist Europe to the surrealists, to using very different ways of thinking about the world. So you can do that both physically in terms of the costumes and the masks and who's wearing what mask, but you can also do it in terms of text, in terms of putting together sliding a Fanon text across Suzanne Césaire, bringing a Damas text together with a fragment of Trotsky. Because we're working with cardboard masks that depict each character, photographic masks which get held by the actors, we can kind of bring on whoever we like, and you can shift from Trotsky's face to Stalin's face to Lenin's face to Diego Rivera to Frantz Fanon as you change the masks. And so there's a looseness or fluidity of identity of the characters also that is, for me, has something of the processes of surrealism. The set is the boat. The Capitaine-Paul-Lemerle is the historic boat. But of course, it's also the ancient, the medieval image of the ship of fools, a ship containing all of humanity, all its foibles, all desires, disasters, compressed into the space of a ship. Some actors from Europe, a couple of musicians from the United States. But most of the cast and the team is Johannesburg-based. And that's important because it changes the music, it gives a different inflection. None of us have been to or know Martinique. It's not actually about Martinique. It's an imagined kind of Martinique as it appears in the writings of different people. In Breton's kind of writing, in Suzanne Césaire's very other kind of writing. There are many different answers of origin of the project. I can never quite pin it down. So one could say, 7 years ago, I read an essay by a friend, Arisitas, about this ship, and I was intrigued. Then I forgot all about it. I was interested. Then we did a project using cardboard masks about a Shostakovich symphony. And while working on that, I decided, it would be fantastic to do a live theatre performance using this technique. We had a chorus of women singers, we had the desire for masks, and we had an idea of this captain, this figure of death. There's always an overlap from one project to another. A small element of one becomes the heart of another. And an African proverb, which says, if the good doctor can't cure you, find the less good doctor. You know, when the grand ideas aren't working, look for things that emerge from the cracks, from the interstices and from the margins, from the periphery, and let you build your work from that.